is thinking of leaving Rightmove. Should he or should he not? Right, let's throw that one out. That's a big one. Anyone got anything to say on that one? Ian?
I think that's, well, actually, Christian's probably the best person to answer it, but I think that's very difficult to answer. I think it really does depend on the individual circumstances of the individual business. I think many are not going to be able to afford to stay on unless there is a longer term reduction in prices. The decision will come their way rather than them make it. But I think it really depends where your business is in the cycle. If you've got a really strong local brand, that Rightmove isn't currently your best member of staff, which it is for a lot of these businesses, then the answer is probably yes. But if Rightmove is your highest performing person, because that's the way you've structured your business, the answer is possibly no, or not yet. I think that's a business by business decision from my perspective. It's not one that you can just say, yes, you should, no, you shouldn't.
Okay, let's go to Ben next, then Gary afterwards.
Yeah, I think that before you sort of cancel something out, you need to have clearly put some time into testing out all the different digital marketing channels. You know, if you don't have a digital marketing strategy, for example, you know, it would be a crazed thing to do because you're going to drop off a cliff. But if you've actually gone out there and put, you know, some, you know, proper thought into your brand communications, embracing social media, obviously, and, you know, you can go into much deeper forms of embracing social media. Obviously, there's organic, but there's also the sort of more AI driven, such as we've talked about CCT, who are part of the ICG approved. And, you know, you need to be able to be confidently generating leads without Rightmove. And I think that at that point, you can start thinking about moving some of your budget. Many of our clients have done that.
Okay, let's go to Heather and then we'll go to Dee.
Yeah, I would fully agree with what Ben says. I mean, from our perspective, we are actually able to see the market share of all of our clients. And for the ones that have come off Rightmove, on the whole, their market share has dropped. However, some have been able to maintain it and even grow it, but most drop. So I think you have to have everything that Ben just said in place. And you also have to have, what are you going to say to the consumer if they say, are you going to list my property on Rightmove? You've got to have no, but X, Y, Z to basically replace that. And without that, I think it would be commercial suicide.
Okay, just before we go to Dee, I'm gonna come to Gary, but just mute yourself again, Gary, because I will going to come to you in a second. Heather, anecdotally, what are the ones that haven't seen? You obviously get to know your clients. I don't want you to mention any names, but the ones that have seen no effect of leaving Rightmove or increased, what have they all got in common?
Oh, good question. I think the honest answer would be I don't know, because all I'm looking at is the stats. I've not obviously rang them up and said, what are you doing to counteract coming off Rightmove? You know, the vast majority market share has gone down. It's only a few, and actually I could probably go and do some digging after this and look into it more.
Okay, I'd like to go to Gary next, and I know Dee and Ian, you are waiting. Go,
yeah,
Gary.
I'm going to take a slightly different slant on this, which is, you know, look, we see the number of inquiries coming through, we see the high level of engagement, and look, whether we like it or not, the eyeballs on Rightmove are absolutely huge. However, where I see a big thing that Rightmove can do more of is actually sharing that information back with the actual agent community. To Ben's point around digital and social marketing and AI, imagine a scenario where Rightmove could actually look at an agent's database and say, look, across your 100,000 contacts, these guys are really active on Rightmove at the moment, and we're tracking cookies, and we can also see that they're looking at related sites that show that they've got a passion for moving at the moment. They're all the key signs, they're Googling kind of mortgages. We could give you a score back. If Rightmove could give you a score back of saying, look, we can make 100 calls today for contacts, which contacts should we be calling? That's where Rightmove can make a massive difference. And, it's something that I'd love to do with them if they were able to, if they would be willing to kind of share those data insights directly with their customers.
That almost sounds like the best bits of life cycle and active pipe put together. I know a lot of you putting hands up, so I'm going to Dee next. Dee.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, I'd agree with what Gary and Ben have been saying, and insofar as a big problem for us is actually managing the volume of leads that are coming through. So I think we want to get ahead of that rather than just launching a property onto Rightmove and waiting for the phone to ring or an email to come in. We need to get ahead and maybe just use social media and digital marketing to be able to get information out to the right people before necessarily just launching it willy-nilly onto Rightmove.
Interestingly, I'd like to go to Ian, and I know Charlie and Richard, you've put your hands up, so hang in there. Ian.
You asked Heather the question if there was a common thread between those driving market share up not being on Rightmove, and I mean I can only give you the anecdotal evidence, but it will be that they've got a plan. It will be that they've thought about what are they going to do, what's their pitch to the client, how do they deal with that awkward call from an existing client, how do they deal with the valuation process differently, and what's the alternative plan? How are they going to convince and show that vendor that they've got a better solution? I personally am absolutely in no doubt that there are now more using digital marketing techniques and various other marketing skills, personal branding, that actually Rightmove isn't as effective as people think it is. That there are many, many more effective ways of driving leads to you. It's just that the consumer and or perhaps estate agents are addicted to this Rightmove thing. But the simple answer is have a plan. Have a plan. If you've got a plan and it works, try the plan, test the plan, work the plan, save the money if the plan works. It doesn't.
Let's be honest, Rightmove is plug and play estate agency, so even I could set Chris Watkin estate agents up and have the same footing as everyone else. Maybe if we all came off it and were actually pushed our services and made our value add, then we could add more, get high fees. Charlie, you've got something to say, then Richard afterwards.
Yeah, thanks, Christopher. We've taken the plunge and come off Rightmove for this month.
Oh, well done, mate. At least we've got an estate agent puts the money where their mouth is. Well done.
So we have put our money where our mouth is, and for me, it's not about it. One thing we haven't spoken about enough of, I think Dee touched on it, is the efficiency of the leads that we're receiving. I mean, we receive thousands and thousands of leads, but I think one thing that estate agents are not very good at, and they haven't improved over the years, is actually managing those leads. The efficiency of how we deal with leads has not improved over the last sort of 15, 20 years. I think a lot of things have improved in estate agency. A lot of innovations have come in, but I think estate agents are generally quite poor at dealing with leads, and that's probably because of Rightmove and Zoopla and things just sort of landing on their laps or their heads. For us, we feel like we've got enough leads from Zoopla and the other portals, and we're concentrating on the efficiency of converting those leads. And of course, you would be crazy to just come off a platform, exactly as Ben said, if you didn't have a social media strategy in place as well. So I think that's extremely important.
Most of the people I actually ask people, basically people I meet, they're addicted to Rightmove. And we're talking all of these different ways. Gordon's got a great sort of platform on CCT, but we've got to be honest, it's a bit like Richard said, a lot of clients just look at Rightmove. That's what they're used to doing. So until that changes, it's dangerous to leave, in my opinion.
Anyone else got anything to say on this? Do you need Rightmove and the Zoopla to get to either sell houses or get vendors and landlords?
I don't think you do, and I think if you are ever going to create an experience where you don't need the portals, the estate agents have to be better and give the clients a reason not to go on there. At the moment, it's where the clients want to be, and that's where they enjoy that user experience. So if you're in the business of serving your clients, at the moment, that does involve Rightmove. Until we get better at excluding Rightmove, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, let's go to Ben next.
Just a quick one. This is actually from me. I used to just preach to every agent I knew to not put any property on any of the portals. The main reason being, it's a little late on the Rightmove front now, but your gold is your instruction from an SEO point of view. So if you can delay it and get it on, if you've got sole rights to that property, get it on your website, get Google to give you the value first from an SEO benefit. And that will be the beginnings of you being able to conquer getting the leads driving through your lead generation powerhouse rather than the portals.
Bang on. Charlotte.
I think it's about being structured, isn't it? If you've got an agenda that you want to come off Rightmove, you've got to plan, you've got to move forward. So your first step is going to have to be getting your data right. You've also got to get your teams on board, because there's no point as the boss being anti-Rightmove, but the team not being behind you on that. So I think if you've got a long-term aim to get on off Rightmove, you've got to train your teams, you've got to get your data absolutely working for you, you've got to do your social media right, you've got to be working in the community, and then I don't see why you would have to rely on Rightmove.